everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
Hey, y'all. Hello, hello.
I'm Kristy with Kristy's Craft Room.
I'm not.
And I'm Stacy with Wilshire Collections, and we're so excited to get crafty with you guys today. It's going to be such a fun live. I'm going to get over here and make sure that it's live on my page and we're good to go. So
Yep. Make sure, let us know if you guys see us. Let us know that you are here. You can see us. You can hear us. All the things. Let us know. I see us. We popped right up. I see both of us.
Make sure that it.
I see us.
I see us. I'm going to leave this over here so I can see comments.
All right.
Y'all, we got so many devices and so many things going on. It's a miracle that this is working and we're both here. So
it is. The text messages are going out, so those will be coming to you guys soon. But we worked really hard before we went live to try to make this the best possible viewing experience as we could for you all. We have extra cameras today to try to make it so you guys can see what we're doing a little bit bigger, because we know when we're together, sometimes things are a little bit smaller. So
yes. And a reminder, if you turn your phone to the side, it will put your phone in landscape mode and it'll make it even bigger. So
yes.
Can y'all hear us okay? See us okay? All the things. I see you guys hopping on. Sheila, Patty, Jane, Sandy. Hello, hello. We're so excited to be here crafting with you guys today.
So they can see us, they can hear us, they say we rock. So we're good.
Yes. That's all we need to know. If you only saw what was happening 5 minutes before this live, my camera fell out of my tripod. Things were happening, y'all. And Tim was like, don't stress. You've got 2 minutes. You're going to be fine. I'm like, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. No pressure.
No.
We got it. So, good. I'm glad you guys can see us and hear us. Okay. This is going to be so fun, you guys. If you missed it last week, can't remember what day because they all run together.
Yeah.
One of those days, Kristy and Tim and I went live together telling you guys about our new Simple Swap collection, showing you the frames, showing you the printables. And you guys, I feel like we need to take a moment, Kristy, to tell everybody thank you, because y'all have been scooping them up. Like, we are just so thankful and floored. Like, we love this product and we love this idea, but to see you guys love it so much, it's so cool.
Yes, it's been amazing. I know a lot of my people that came from my page are loving the printables, and they are loving that they're being introduced to these printables. Some of them didn't even know what a printable was before we did this. And I've had lots of people from your page reach out being like, I'm so excited. I just ordered 2 days ago and my frames arrived today. And they're so excited. So
yes,
amazing across the board, I think. And you guys have been super, super supportive of both of us doing this. And we do really, really appreciate you guys.
We do. Yes, I've had so many people sending me pictures like, I already got my frames. That was so fast. So you guys have done a great job just getting everything out there to people. So let us know too, if you guys have your stuff and you're crafting along with us today. I know some people are more like the craft along type, and then some people just want to watch and learn and observe and then do it later. Either way is fine. But if you are crafting with us, we want to know that too. So
definitely. And let us know what colors you plan to use for your frames. That's like the golden question around here is what color do we use? What colors do we start with? So
exactly.
Let us know. So if you guys are watching today and you're like, what are you talking about? I was busy last week. I didn't see your guys' lives last week. I don't know what's going on, or maybe you're brand new here. So let's maybe do a quick introduction, and then we can tell them a quick little blurb of what this is, and then we're going to get to crafting that.
Perfect. That sounds like a plan. Yep, you go first.
Okay, I'm Kristy with Kristy's Craft Room. We do a lot of crafting tutorials here. We do a lot of things that you can use to decorate your home, kind of like the things behind me. We also have a VIP group where we send them a craft kit with the wood and metal cutouts that we cut right here in our shop. And along with embellishments, we do a craft night with them. We have a lot of fun. That's definitely, when you think VIP, that's what it is. They get early access, discount codes, exclusive releases, all the things. And then we just started our craft night in a box, which is more of a group crafting experience. We send you everything you need for a stress-free craft night to host for your family and friends. And then we just have our shop. If you just want to test us out one time and buy one item to see what it's all about, we have the shop where you can do that too. We are kind of a husband and wife team. It started just me, and then we brought Tim along the way. I figure out the designs and the upcoming things, and then he makes it all happen. So
yes, I love it.
So this is Tim, also known around here as I'm Not. So that is what Kristy's craft room is. So Stacy.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm Stacy with Wilshire Collections. I love decorating and DIY and all things just to make your home pretty. So I do a kind of a myriad of things. On the crafting side, I create printables and design printables with crafting in mind. So we do all kinds of crafting projects on the page. I also have a printable club. So we're going to be talking about that here in a little bit. But if you're newer to printables and you're already obsessed, you're going to want to be part of the club because they get early access, the best deal, 6 new bundles a month, all the things. And we're incorporating Simple Swap into the printable club going forward. So I can't wait to tell you guys about that. But so I have printable club. I have my decorating and creating community, which is my private VIP group where we do decorating and crafting. I also have a pillow cover club. I design pillows and ship pillows out to ladies everywhere. So truly just anything that involves the home is where my heart's at, and just making spaces beautiful, creating beautiful things. So that's it in a nutshell. And I do have a shop too. If you're just testing the waters with the printables, we have hundreds of printables available just for one-off. So if you go to shopwilshirecollections.com, you can see all of those there too. So anyways, but yeah, that's it.
So if you haven't picked it up from our introductions, we're very busy ladies around here, and we love all things creative. And this was like the perfect collaboration of us coming together with our wood cutouts and Stacy's printables. Yes. We've been talking about doing this for over a year, and we were just waiting until we came up with just the right idea. And I think we found the right idea. They come together perfect.
It was worth the wait for sure, you know.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think we should just dive into crafting. I'll talk about the frames a little bit while we craft them together, and then Stacy can talk more about the printables as we work on the printable part of it. Sound good?
Yes, that sounds good. I'm excited to see what you're doing, and it's fun because they're all going to turn out different, you know. And so the first couple that I did, that I showed last week, I actually painted in fall colors, which I love. So I did the orange one and I did a green one. But this time, I'm going to keep it a little bit more neutral. So since I already kind of tested it out with some fall colors, which I love that green so much. That could be used so many times a year. I decided for these, I'm going to do a little bit more of a neutral look and some fun techniques. So that's my plan for the frame part. So what about you, Kristy?
So I'm going to go, if you know me, you know I'm very neutral. I tend to stick to whites, blacks, stains, things like that. I did do a set in the white here, which I've been showing you guys throughout the week. And then I also stained a set and I just used antique wax for these ones. What's that? Oh, you already switched it. Today I'm going black today. I'm going to do something very classic black, very neutral. I'm kind of playing off I'm going to use the sunflowers. I'm playing off the dark centers of the sunflowers. So that's what I'm doing today.
Awesome. Cool.
For these frames, when they come, they're going to come in a package like this, all bundled up together. You've got your bow hook in the back there, and then all your other pieces. I'm going to do the scallop frames today. I'm going to do the 3-inch, the 4-inch, and the 5-inch because I'm thinking of using them on a tier tray and kind of, I have like a large tier tray that I think these would look really, really good on.
Perfect. I'm going to be using an 8-inch square, and then a 6-inch and a 5-inch scallop. So that's the 3 I'm going to use. And on one of them, I'm just going to do Deco Art Raw Umber, and I'm going to make that into a stain. And then on the other 2, the scallops, I'm going to use the raw umber, but then I think I'm going to do a little white dry brushing over the frames.
That'll look really good. I like that.
It'll look good. I'm excited.
Yes.
So.
All right, so in your sets, you're gonna get your little bow hook, and I'll show you how to use the bow hook once we get to that part.
Yep.
You're gonna get your spacer piece, which is it's gonna have a little bit of a different look to it, and it's a little bit thicker, so it gives you the space to slide your inserts in with your printables attached to them. You're gonna get your front frame piece. So this one here is the scallop one that I'm gonna use. You're going to get your insert piece, which is this square. Every frame comes with an insert for that size frame, and you could use both sides, so you can switch it back and forth, or you can also get additional sets of these to so you can change out and simply swap your frames, the look of them for every season.
Yep.
And then you're also going to have 3 rectangle pieces. Okay, you're going to have one with a slit in it. That one is going to be what your little spacer piece is going to slide into, like that. So you want to find the other piece that's exactly the same size, okay? So it's exactly the same size. Those pieces are going to be used together. And then the other piece is going to go on the back of the frame. That is kind of what's going to support your insert, okay? So that's all the pieces that you are going to have. My little insert, I'm going to set that aside because Stacy's going to show us how to use that in a little bit with her, with the printables. So we're just going to set that aside for the moment. All right.
Yep.
So what we need to paint is the front of our frame piece, our top base piece. You don't really have to paint this bottom piece because you can see it's going to be completely covered and you're not even going to see it. Okay. So we're just going to set that aside. Paint our top base piece, and then this back piece. If you want to paint the backs of your frames, you can. You don't have to. If you think you're going to set them where they're going to get a little peekaboo and people might see the backs of them, you can paint them. I haven't painted any of mine. I don't usually paint the backs of mine, but that's totally a personal preference if you want to. So if you're not going to paint it, set it aside. Okay.
Let me show real quick, Kristy. So on this one here, I did decide to paint the back, and I was like, I want to just see how this looks in case you have it on a tray on your coffee table or something. But look how stinking cute that is.
Yeah.
So even though it covers up a little bit of the printable, I still love the way that, or you could have the back, just the regular wood, and you could paint the wood to match. So it's another great option if you feel like you want the back to be more finished. So
yeah. Totally personal preference. I'm not going to today just because of time purposes, so you guys don't have to sit and wait for it to dry and all that. So I'm just going to do the fronts today. Just so the main thing is we want you to know how to put these together. That's the biggest thing today.
Yep.
So I'm just going to grab the front pieces that I'll be painting for each one. I'm going to kind of do all 3 of them together here. And then
I just got paint on my forehead. It's fine.
Oh,
all right, I'm going to start. Kristy's going to do her overhead view for now so you guys can really see the assembly and the painting and whatever of the frames. All I'm doing is taking my Deco Art Raw Umber. I'm going to add a little water to it, and then I'm just going to be using baby wipes to rub it onto the frames to kind of get that stained look. So I'm just going to kind of start doing that while Kristy starts doing her thing, and then in a little bit we'll change the view to my overhead view. So
yeah. So I'm going to start. I'm just using the straight black paint. Right. I put a little bit on a plate. I'm going to grab a little, we call them painting sponges around here. When you see them in the store, you'll know them as makeup sponges. These little flat triangle little sponges work really, really well for these. The other thing that's an optional thing is, do you paint the sides? I do not paint the sides of mine. I paint the front surface. I kind of like that the edges are not painted because it gives a little bit of depth and dimension to the frame. But if you prefer it nice and clean and you want everything like perfectly the same color, you can paint your edges. And then you can use a brush in that case if you want to do that. But I am just going to dip it into my paint, and then I'm just going to take it and just tap it across the surface. And that is going to give you nice painted surface on the top without it getting all brushed on the edges. Yes. And this is black, so it kind of blends in anyways because the edges are darker. So it works pretty good. So
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the black. That's going to be so cute.
Me too. I haven't seen it in black yet. So
no, I know.
Experiment for me too to see how it looks. But I think it's.
So are you going to distress it too?
I am going to distress it. I distress
Of course she is, Tim. Do you know her? Of course she is.
Well, I was hoping she'd leave, something kind of, undistressed.
Yeah,
I love distress.
She loves her distressing. I do too. I mean, it just adds so much. I do certain things I do leave solid, but I'd say more times than not, I like to add just at least a little distressing,
Yeah, there's a rare occasion I will not distress, but most of the time I do.
What?
I do.
I don't think I've seen you not distressed.
Tim's like, I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, you've all seen me.
Things a little distressed.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
He blames me for his distressing though. So
I didn't have a single gray hair until I met her.
you
Hey,
were also
listen.
only 27 when we met.
I was gonna say, I bet Kristy can say the same for you, Tim.
28, sorry. He was 28. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
I was only 21 when we met. I didn't have a single gray hair or wrinkle on me, so he can get all the credit for those, right?
No, it's the kids.
Oh, the kids. The kids will do that to you too.
Oh yeah. The kids will. They'll
Yeah, the kids give you your gray hair and wrinkles.
Yeah. Stacy has a senior in high school this year. How is that?
No, he's graduated.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yes. Yes. It's crazy. Yeah. He's a freshman in college, and then Tyler is in 7th grade. So I know y'all have already, been down that road because you've got older kids, but man, it's just crazy when they get older. I'm like, why do you have to go and grow up like that?
Well, I know, right? We got one more to go.
One more
One more to go.
home
No,
stretch.
free. No.
Yeah. Freedom.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I know my son Jacob looked at me one time when he was a teenager. He was probably like 15, 16 years old. And we were talking about something. And he goes, Mom, you're going to empty nest hard.
Oh, yeah.
Empty nest hard. He's like, I know you're going to be looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That's so funny.
Oh, no, I'm looking forward to it. She is going to be just an absolute
mess.
brain wreck.
Yeah, I know. Elena's a junior in high school. She's our last one, and it is so hard to believe. I don't look at her and see a junior in high school.
No.
I don't see an 11th grader standing in front of me.
No.
She's driving. She's like, it's just wild to me. It's so hard to like.
It's your baby,
Yeah.
It's just,
I
know.
my last baby.
Oh my gosh.
No, we're not starting over.
No.
I can't. That's just, no. It's
I'll
so
wait for
crazy
you.
It's so crazy how fast this paint and stain goes on too, just using the makeup sponges. These work so good for these types of projects for sure.
They do. They really, really do.
And I feel like they give you a little bit more, I don't know. It's easier to not get it on the sides than I think if you were using a paintbrush,
Yeah, because when you're using the paintbrush, the little bristles on the brush like drag along the edge, and you can't help but get paint on the edges.
Exactly.
I think it's such a crisper look too.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
So fun.
Yeah. So we are we have a visitor. One of my kids. Speaking of kids, one of them's in the room right now. There's Trevor.
Got a surprise guest.
Yes.
It's always fun. Oh, let's see what y'all are saying.
Reload 3 and 4.
Oh,
Hello.
so glad you guys are here. Whoops. Okay.
Lots of people sharing their stories of their kids and how old they are.
I know. We're gonna need all the help and advice we can get.
Yes, I know.
Oh, okay. Let's see. All right, now I'm doing the scallop. One of the scallops. I'm excited to try the dry brushing on this too because I think that's gonna be really cute.
Want to switch to Stacy's overhead so we can get a peek at what she is painting. We're challenging Tim with the camera switching.
Yeah, let's see if he can pass the test here.
Yeah, let's see what Stacy's got going. You guys kind of see what I got going.
Mind my messy mat. I didn't really have a time to clean it off good, but there is the stain that I'm doing. So pretty. It's coming out really good. And like I said, I just took some brown. That's a little tip for you guys. I'm sure, Kristy, you may do this too. But if you don't want to use antique wax or use like an actual stain, just pick a brown paint of a color that you really like and just water it down a little bit, and it will go on just like a stain. So this Deco Art Raw Umber is one of my favorites for just kind of just a medium shade of stain. So I super, super love that. All right.
You can even do that with like colored paints too,
You
and kind of get that stained look.
Yes, yes, any color. I've done that before. Even like the black would be so pretty. You could do a black stain, a gray stain. You could do red at Christmas. I mean, there's so many options on what you can do as far as that goes. All right, I'm moving on to this one now. So I'm gonna take my little sponge and get going. I love the scalloped one. I love both of them, but this scallop is just so stinking cute. So
I know. I'm right there with you. I love them both, but if I had to choose just one, I think I would choose scallop.
I was doing some fall decorating this weekend, and I was like, I got my frames. Of course, they weren't done yet because I was waiting until we did this, but I was placing them certain places, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to put this one here. So I already know exactly where all these frames are going. So I cannot wait to take pictures once they're done and get them all styled and share pictures with you guys. But it's going to just be a fun and easy thing to continue to swap out, you know, hence the name, right? Simple swap.
So if you didn't get these already, it's not too late. We still have the frames in the shop. Stacy still has the printables available. The links are in the descriptions of our videos and in the comments, so you guys can still grab them up, and we'll get them shipped out to you as quickly as possible. And your printables you're going to get right away, emailed to you within a few minutes. So you can still get these, because I know some people might have been on the fence and they weren't sure and they want to see how they go together.
Want to see how they work. And I will say too, like, this is something any crafter at any level can do, you guys. If you're brand new, don't be intimidated by this. You know, it's super, super simple to paint, to stain, to assemble together. Or obviously, if you've been, you know, crafting for years, then you'll be able to just whip this out in no time, you know. But this truly can be for anyone. And it's just, it's going to make crafting so fun and easy, make printable use so fun and easy. So I'm excited.
Okay,
let's see. I got to paint that one.
So Sandy was asking, is this something that will go away or will it be available for a while? I am going to show how to glue them together, Sherry. We will show. We're going to show you every step. Today. But this is something that we plan to have. Stacey's had printables for years. She's had them for a long time, and she's going to keep printables around. And then the frames, we plan on having, this is something that we plan to have live in the shop. That's what we call it around here, living in the shop. As long as you guys continue to love them and it continues to be something that people want. And obviously anything gets to a point where if it slows down and it's just taking up space on the shelf, then we'll phase it out. But as long as it's something that you guys love and continue to want, we will continue to have them. We also have ideas of potentially bringing other sizes to you and maybe some other frame designs to you in the future if you guys love them, and you guys seem to love them. So I'm pretty sure that's probably something that's going to be happening. And Stacy can tell you,
as if they do love them.
They do love them. And Stacy can tell you her plan, like she has. Tell them about the printables and kind of what your plan for those.
Switch my camera, Tim, back to the other one for a second, please. Yes. So like Kristy said, I've been doing printables for years. Obviously this simple swap concept is new, but something I'm really excited about. So every month in the Printable Club, we are going to start doing one simple swap bundle. So that means one bundle will be perfectly sized, just like these first ones that you purchased for the simple swap frames. However, because September's coming up right around the corner and I'm just extra excited about all of this, for September, there's actually going to be 2 simple swap sized printable bundles in the club. So I'm very excited about that. Those always get released between the 1st and the 5th of the month to the club members. And then eventually they will go on my site for individual purchase, but they get early access. They get the best deal. Printable Club's $20 a month. You get 6 printables a month. So it's like a $42 value. So it's really, really a great deal. And I may or may not be showing you guys a little sneak of something here in a bit when we get to the printable part of what's coming up. But this is going to be a fun ongoing thing. So if you're in Printable Club, what's happening is our Repurpose Your Surface bundle that we've done for a while, we're swapping that out for the Simple Swap. So instead of that one, we're going to do Simple Swap going forward. But the other thing is, actually, this is actually kind of funny. I'm so secretive and sly. Let me show you something. This printable bundle, this is a covered bridge printable bundle. This one it is in the Printable Club right now for August. So every month Printable Club gets 2 exclusives. This is one of their exclusives. Well, when this got released in August, y'all did not even know Simple Swap was coming. But I did. So this printable bundle is also sized for Simple Swap. So this one, like I said, it's in the club now. You guys can join if you're not in. We've actually got a coupon code you can use and get $5 off your first month. But anyway, so lots of the printables that I do are going to be these sizes, which is why Kristy created the frames in these sizes. These are some of my most common, 6x6, 8x8, 5x5, etc. So anyways, tons and tons of the printable bundles are going to work for this for sure. So yes,
you're sneaky.
She is sneaky. And those are so pretty. So pretty.
Thank you. I love that was a favorite for the PC girls last month for sure. So
I see we have little miss, not little miss.
Little miss.
Miss Kathy Stevens, she says PC girl and Kristy's Craft Kit group member here watching from Arizona.
Oh,
Yay, Kathy.
I love that.
If you're in both of our groups, let us know in the comments, because I do know we have some crossover friends here that follow both us and you and are members of our VIP group and your PC or DC.
I would love to know that too. That's so cool.
All right.
Okay, I think I have all of my things.
I'm going to flip you back.
Okay. Yeah, I think
I go to the overhead here so that I can show them how to assemble.
Yeah, you can go to Kristy.
Yep. All right. So mine are all painted. Like I said, it's totally optional if you want to paint these back pieces or not. I'm kind of intentionally not painting them because I want to show you if you do glue it a little bit crooked, it can be fixed. Okay. So I want to show you that because knowing me, I probably won't glue it perfect and you might not either. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Sandy's a triple dipper and OG of the VIP group. Sandy, she's been around for a long time.
Yes, thank you, Sandy.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our piece that we painted with the slit and we're going to find the coordinating size. Now, some of them, all 3 of these are like the same size, but like the larger frames, we had to make that back piece a little bit of a different size so that it would support properly. So just make sure you have a back piece that is exactly the same size as your little slit piece, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to do kind of all 3 of these together, okay? I'm going to do all 3 of them simultaneously, okay? And then
real quick, Kristy, I just want to tell them, because I'm going to keep working while you're doing that, but all I'm doing next is I'm taking white paint and I'm going to lightly get it on my little chip brush, and I'm just going to do a little dry brush on a couple of these frames. So I just wanted to tell y'all because I want to keep rocking and rolling.
Stacy, I don't know if you can see her question or not. She's one of ours. Will we be able to swap printables without being in the printable club? Will we be able to get printables without being in the printable club?
Yes, absolutely. There are hundreds of printables on my site at shopwillshirecollections.com. So they're not all Simple Swap ones, but they have a lot of those sizes. But going forward, there will be at least one a month that's added to my site for Simple Swap. So yes. Yep.
So there will be more available in these sizes in the future that you can buy individually from Stacy. Yes. You're going to get a better deal if you're part of the club.
Right. Yep. You got it. Oh, this looks so cute. Oh my gosh.
I like to use gel super glue. I particularly like the Gorilla super glue, but if you will like a different brand or prefer a different brand, use what you like. But the gel super glue is going to be your friend. You don't want just a watery, old-fashioned liquid glue because then it just soaks right into the wood quickly and it runs everywhere. The gel stays where you put it. So we're going to put it on the back side of the piece with the slit, okay? And we're just going to put some dots around there. like so. And then we're just gonna line it up and let it set. Just line her up, let her set. You can use a clothespins to kind of hold it in place if you want to, but these stay pretty nicely if you just line them up. Don't mind the back of my head. Sorry, everybody. The key is you want to put the glue on the back of the piece with the slit. That way you're not getting it into that center hole. We're not quite ready to put glue in there yet.
Yes.
If you put it on this piece, you may get glue in the wrong spot, and then you got a dry chunk of glue there.
Yes. And yes, the stands do come with the frames. Everything you see Kristy using here comes with the frame. So it's an entire kit. You'll have every single piece that you need. So
Yep. Everything comes. All the wood that you see comes in the set.
Yep. And somebody asked, can you swap out the printables? And yes, you can do that too. And we'll show you that when we get to the printable portion of this. So
you can, if you buy one frame, you're going to be able to use both sides of the insert piece, and you'll be able to put a printable on each side. So that'll give you two options from that one frame. And then you'll be able to get, we have bundles of these extra inserts that you can get, and you can use both sides of each one. So you can change them out with future printables that you get.
Yep.
So they're very much will last you. You can get a lot of use out of them for all of your season.
Absolutely. And there are some tricks and some things you can do with printables to make them kind of not the printables reusable, but your surface is reusable, where it's not as like permanent as Mod Podge. So I mean, there's literally a million different, scenarios and ways that you could do it and reuse it. So lots of options. I'm loving this dry brushing. That is so cute.
So I'm going to let the bases just sit and let those get nice and solidly glued together. So that's why we do the bases first. That way we can move on to the other parts, and those can set nicely before we start trying to put everything else together. Now you guys are at home. You could go get a cup of coffee and come back, let all your glue set. We're not going to sit here and drink coffee and let you guys stare at us.
Why not? We love coffee. Yeah.
We do love coffee. We do.
Okay. If you follow our link or Stacy's link, that will take you to the simple swap frame, and then on our site it'll take you down. If you scroll down, there'll be a link for Stacy's printables.
Yep.
And on Stacy's, there'll be a link for our frames.
Yes.
And then you can go to Staples or the public library, and they'll be able to print these out for you if you don't have a printer at home.
She's going to give you all the tips and tricks when we get to that part of it. She's going to tell you where to get them, how to do it, all the things.
Hey, Tim, can you switch to my camera just real quick before I finish this dry brushing? I just want to show them in case nobody has, in case there's my overhead camera, sorry.
Tim's
got the hardest job here today. Okay, I wanted to show you this one. You can see I've already done the dry brushing on half the frame, not the other half. Doesn't it look cute?
Yes.
I love it. Okay, so all I'm doing, I use this little chip brush. I dip it in the white paint, but then you want to dab it off, because the whole point, you want your brush pretty dry. And then you just lightly handed go back and forth to apply that white paint. So it's a great way to give just some more texture and dimension to a piece. And then on top of this, you could also distress, which would give it even more, dimension and whatever. But this is just a technique that I love, and I'm definitely loving how it looks on these frames. So just wanted to show y'all so you can see the difference. Here's one that I just did solid stain versus the one with the dry brushing. So it lightens it up and it changes the whole look. So that's all. Okay, I'm done with that part.
And I got so excited to show you guys how to put the frames together. I forgot a step. I forgot to distress mine. So
yeah, you got to do that.
I'm going to do that. So if you do what I did and you already glued your base, let that set a little bit before you try dry brushing that. Otherwise, it's going to slide all over. But I can go ahead and not dry brushing. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to go ahead and distress my frames first while my base is set a little bit. So I'm just using a standing, this is the Gator. You can get a standing block from the Dollar Tree, the hardware store, wherever. But whatever your preferences. And I'm just going to sand my edges a little bit.
Oh, it makes a difference. I love it. I love the distressing. Oh my gosh, so cute.
One thing with the scallop one, when you're distressing, if you kind of go like get into those corners a little bit so that you kind of get that round curving
look to it.
Yeah, you don't want to just get the tops of the rounded edge. You want to kind of get down into where they come together and meet in the middle.
That's true. That's true. The best paper or cardstock to print on if you're printing at home. Honestly, any type of printer paper or cardstock will work for this project for sure. I usually use cardstock just because it's a little thicker, nicer, better quality, heavier. I get mine from Walmart. So, I mean, it does not have to be the most expensive, you know, cardstock on the market. Anything will work for sure. So.
Paper I really, really like at Staples. It's a 32-pound bright white paper. It's a little bit thicker. It's not quite cardstock, but it's thicker than your standard printing paper.
Yes.
I'm really, really liking that because it holds up really nice still to the Mod Podge, but it's still super easy to work with and doesn't give you too much thickness if you are working with something that you got to be mindful of.
Good to know.
No, I love it. It comes in a red package. It's the Staples brand.
Yeah.
And Staples didn't tell me to say that.
Yeah, we are not getting paid by Staples.
That is not a paid advertisement.
I know. I feel that way every time I talk about the UPS store because I go to even though I have a printer at home, I go to UPS store. They know Kelly, or Kelly's my assistant. They know Kelly and I on a first name basis because we're there so much because their quality of their prints is just next level. Like they have these, you know, commercial grade laser printers. So, I mean, they're printers. So sometimes I'd rather just use their ink and their whatever. So if you're really looking, sometimes I get some of the printables blown up into like a bigger size, like an 11 by 14, which you can't really do from a home printer, but places like that will do that kind of stuff for you. And the quality is just awesome. And it's really, honestly, it's affordable to have them, you know, printed as well. So, and I also use their local library too. Which is perfect. So
especially if you're printing once or twice a month to do a project, you don't want to go buy a huge expensive printer and then have to buy those really expensive toner cartridges when you could just pay, you know, $5, you have all your stuff printed for you.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Heck, that's what we should start doing.
I know. We print too much around here.
I know. I always think, I'm like, I probably do need to invest in a really nice printer. As much as I print, I
wonder, you know, if we go to Staples or if we go to the local library and just bring in a couple of cases of paper and say, hey, paper, how much to print all this for me?
I'm sure they have limitations.
Yeah, they might. They'd be like, sorry.
I need 1,100 copies of this.
Well, I do know Staples, if you bring your own paper, they will put it in the machine for you to print. They still charge you the standard printing fee, but they will let you bring your own paper because I have done that before because I had something very specific I was printing. I wanted it on certain paper.
Right.
And they were very accommodating, but they did charge me their full printing price. I didn't get a discount for not using their paper.
That is too funny. Kelly, that works for me, just said she went to UPS for a personal reason and that the guys that worked there were panicking, thinking that they had missed an order. Like, we didn't see your order. She's like, no, that's not what I'm here for. You know, I'm like, that shows you how much we're there.
That is funny.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'm going to start gluing my little bases together, just like Kristy did a minute ago. So I'm using super glue gel as well, because that's what Kristy said works the best and I trust her. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
It works very nicely. So I'm almost done distressing my front parts of my frame. I'll kind of hold it up close so you guys can see. Where am I? So you can see. Just adds a little bit of dimension around the edges. I just like that look. It feels a little bit aged. It feels like it has a story. It has history. And I just love things like that. So you could totally leave it and not distress it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Again, personal preference. There's so much room for personal preference with these. So much room.
Yes.
All right. I think I'm set enough that I can carefully distress my edges. I think I'm good.
You're on this. She is on a black kick right now.
Oh, I am.
She is on a total black kick.
That is
I'm liking.
so pretty. I loved the things you posted the other day from your VIP group. One was black and one was green. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I loved those.
That was I kind of want to I feel like they're all going to look good together. Yeah, yeah.
Wait till September's.
We've been kind of theming things with our VIP group lately,
Yes.
kind of like telling a story almost. Like the last 3 months, it's going to be like a story of this goes with this. And then
Yes. I'm calling it a journey on my page. We've been going on a journey I call it the journey of cuteness and coordination, because we've got printables that match the pillows, that match the throw blankets. It's this whole thing. And it's fun and cute, but B, it makes decorating easy for people and crafting when you're kind of like, here's all the colors, here's all the things, and now they're all going to look cute together, So I love that you're doing that too. That's so cool.
Yes. Yeah. Because the whole point is, we don't want it to be overly complicated and hard, right? We want to keep things simple.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that would be awesome.
What?
Someone suggested that they could, instead of attaching the printable to the board, is to laminate the printables and slide them in, which you totally could do that and just leave the board there to support it and just swap them out. You are going to get a glossy finish when you laminate. So if you don't mind that glossy shine, then that would totally work. If you don't like the glossy shine, then it's just that, again, personal preference.
Right. Exactly.
There's so much you can do.
I was looking at the Eileen's. I think it would be cute to outline it with a paint pen.
Oh, you could add a lot of different detail. You could do little polka dots in there. You could add a little bit.
Did I just open a can of worms?
You could use like a scraping tool, and you can add a little bit of a painted, distressed kind of chippy edge to the side of it. You could even, I would venture to say, with the square ones, you could probably even like scrapbook paper and add some pattern.
I don't know why not,
Right?
That's a great idea. That'd be so cute.
Okay, so I think we're ready. How are you, Stacy?
I think I'm ready. I've got my bases glued, but I haven't gone any farther, so I'm good.
So our bases are glued. We're letting those set. We are going to work on our frame pieces. So we're going to flip them over.
Okay.
So the back side is up. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to apply our gel super glue to this bottom edge and the sides, okay, just on one side. And then we're going to glue that. I'm going to show you before I do it so that it lines up along the bottom of your frame, okay? So this is what it looks like from the back. We're lining it up right on these edges here. And then when you flip it over, you can see that little piece sticks out the bottom. That's what's going to go into your base, okay? So we're just going to line it up.
You do have to be pretty careful when you're lining this up, right?
Yes.
Because you want that bottom part to stick out. So
you want that bottom part needs to stick out, or it's not going to stand up in the base. And we want to make sure it's on the edges, because this is what is going to hold our insert into place. So when we slide it in, it's going to keep it right where it needs to be on that front side. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Let's do this.
Can you guys see? Am I in the frame? Okay.
Yeah, you're still in there.
Yeah, you're good.
Edges. I'm kind of staying up towards the inside of that. One thing that you want to do, if you get, and I did this a little bit on purpose because I want you guys to see, can you see where I got lots of glue kind of sticking up in that edge part? I would suggest you take a diaper wipe or a paper towel or something, which I don't have. Can you?
Really?
I have nothing.
You just have some. I was going to say you have some. Why don't you do it?
And just get those if you have big globs like that, because what's going to happen if you have big globs like that, that's going to dry, and we don't want that getting in the way of anything. Okay.
True.
So
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
So just be careful not to get too globby with the glue. Gel super glue a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
And If you do see some kind of coming out a little bit, just don't put your insert in until it fully sets. Because you don't want to put your insert in and you got globs of glue and then your insert gets stuck in there.
Are you centered there? It looks like you're over on that side a little bit.
Somebody had a good question. Kathy says, does it matter which side you put the glue on? So do you want to show them that, Kristy, so they can see?
It does not matter. These are universally sized from one side to the other. So it does not matter. Just pick a side and just keep it along the sides across here close to the edge and then up. You just don't want, we're not gluing this little lip part yet. So it doesn't matter. They're universal, front and back. Okay.
Yep.
One way to know on your frame pieces, I mean, these are pretty universal too for the most part. The front is always going to be a little bit cleaner. So if you look at this piece here, this is the top side of the wood. This is the front. It's much cleaner. When you flip it over, when we cut with a laser, there's metal grates that the wood sits on when it's being laser cut, and those grates get hot and they just do a little bit of burning on the back side of the wood. So that back side, that has the burning, that's the back. Okay, so if you're ever wondering like, oh, which side's the front? You can see these have a little bit of burning on the edges on the back side. Yes. So this is the front. So the other way with the wood, with the square ones, is they have like these little etched corners. That's the front of your square.
That's the front, yes.
Yep.
Angie says, so far it looks easy to follow. It truly is easy. It's anybody can do this, y'all.
It is. Sure. Yeah. Stacey put hers together before, like she literally just said, okay, just tell me real quick which piece is which. I just in a text told her without a lot of detail, and she put hers together.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of, piece the pieces together and figure it out even without, that. So yeah, it's with these instructions, you guys are going to be golden. It'll be very easy for you. Okay.
And the replay is going to be here for you guys, so you can come back and watch how to put it together. You can come back and watch all Stacey's tips on the printables when we get to that. You'll be able to come back and watch these videos on my page and Stacey's page over and over and over again.
Yes.
Many times as you need.
That's right. Better than binging a TV show. You can binge Stacey and Kristy anytime you want.
Yeah. We are here to serve.
Yeah. It always makes me laugh when people do say they put us up on their big screens. I'm like, what? I don't want to be on your big screen. Don't be putting me up on your TV like that.
Here, I know what I look like. No, don't put me on a 60-inch screen. Please.
See it on this big screen, but I understand why people do that, but it does make me laugh.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm like, you don't need to see me in high definition.
No, exactly. Seeing all the flaws, you know. And the flaws in the craft projects that I'm like, oh, surely they can't see this from far away. Like if I mess something up,
Robin had a very good point. She said, make sure you put that diaper wipe in the trash. That is one tip. When you are using gel super glue, if you clean up a little messy part with a diaper wipe, that glue does not dry on that diaper wipe. It stays wet on there. And then if you grab that wipe and you go to wipe your fingers later, you're wiping that glue all over your fingers. And then it dries instantly on your fingers. Go figure, right?
Yeah.
All right. So same thing, you kind of want to, let these set, but before we put them together, the gel super glue sets pretty quick. Within 2-3 minutes, you have a pretty good solid set, but it gives you a few seconds to slide it around and get it in place. So that's another reason I really like it.
Yes, it does. Yeah, that works.
Your other pieces, your long skinny pieces here, we are going to put these on the back side. So now, just like we put the glue on this piece first, we're going to put the glue in the same place, just along this edge and then up the sides. And then we're going to take our back piece and we're going to put it right on there so that this little lip, again, let me hold this up, so that this little lip is sticking out. Okay, because that's what's going to hold it up in our frame. Okay.
Yep.
So same thing.
Same thing.
Lots of people excited to make their frames.
Oh, I'm so glad. You guys have to share pictures with us once you make them and get the printables in them, get them put somewhere in your home. We're definitely going to want to see that.
Oh, definitely.
Dial them up all cute and send us photos.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I'm so excited about these.
Yeah.
So excited. You can get this glue, Amazon, Hobby Lobby, probably Walmart. Where do you usually?
Kristy'sCraftRoom.com.
Oh, Kristy. Sorry, Kristy. I didn't know you. Forget it. You can't get it on any of those other places. You can only get it at Kristy'sCraftRoom.com.
I do think we're out of stock right now, though.
Are
I
we?
think we sold out. I think I have to place another order.
Okay,
I think you
okay.
guys sold us out. But you can get all the hardware stores, the
Yeah.
craft stores. They all have it. Yes.
Oh,
Sorry for that shameless plug.
no, you're fine. I knew you sold a lot of crafty stuff, but I didn't know you sold that. So.
Yeah.
So funny. Love it, love it. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I'm like that.
Yeah. It's all right. You know, you got to say it when you can say, when the opportunity strikes.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
So I thought it would be fun, or Stacy actually, like we brought this up earlier. We were talking about like just some of our different experiences together. And we were talking about when we went to, remember when we went to La Jolla?
La Jolla. I thought about that after we were texting. We went to La Jolla, California, which is spelled Lajolla.
Yes.
But Kristy kept calling it La Jolla, y'all. So the whole time we were like, La Jolla, like we're in La Jolla. That made me laugh so hard. But that was such a fun trip. Wait, was that that was our very first mastermind trip together, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And so we just always have fun. We've told y'all that we're coffee buddies, right? And we love to go get coffee together. But there's more to our stories than just drinking coffee. So we thought we'd have a little story time here for you guys.
Yeah.
A fun little side note. The Dairy Queen, it's that's in La Jolla, right by the Pillbox, which is the beach right there downtown.
Yeah.
I was the manager at that Dairy Queen for about 1.5 years.
Oh my gosh, I remember Kristy said you used to live there. That's crazy.
Yeah, I lived about 40 minutes away from La Jolla.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
Gosh, that's awesome. It's such a beautiful area. I do love that area.
It is. So we went, Stacy and I, with our coffee. One morning we got our coffee and we're like, we want to go see the ocean. And we were just blocks away from the ocean. So we walked down to the ocean.
Wait, do you also remember we didn't know how to get to the ocean? We had no idea where we were going, and we were like, just follow the sounds. Like I think we took a really long way to get there, you know?
Oh, we definitely did. We were like, we're just two girls with our coffee walking around La Jolla, like La Jolla, La Jolla, whatever you want to call it. And we we're looking for the ocean. We're listening for the ocean. We're kind of going in that direction. And of course, we had to find an opening that let us get through. We contemplating cutting through a couple yards.
We did.
We were walking forever, but then we found our way through, and we're looking, and we really wanted to see the seals because Seal Beach is right there.
Yeah.
So everyone's telling us about the seals. We wanted to see the seals. So we're looking, we're
Seal Beach
checking,
cool.
and all of a sudden I go, there's seals. And they were like really far away, but we were so excited to see the seals. And then
It's seals. And I said, I think that seal has arms and is standing on a surfboard. I don't think that's a seal. I think that's a surfer. She's like, what? I thought it was a seal.
It was like
You never told me that story.
It was like, picture this. You're looking out into the ocean. You see this long thing across the water, and then it's up like this. It's like it was coming up. I think he was like on the board, like he was getting ready to come up. And he really looked like a seal to me. And then Stacey's like, I think it has arms. I think
there's arms. Oh gosh.
I was like, oh, is it? And I looked closer and I'm like, oh, oops.
Oh, whoopsie. Oh my gosh.
Did you guys actually make it to Seal Beach?
We did.
Okay.
We did. We saw all the seals. It was really cool. It really was.
It was very cool.
It was so cool.
The smell is a little different.
Yeah, I could live without the smell for sure. On that.
Cool.
But it's a very cool place.
Yeah.
It is. It's definitely cool.
All right. So the next step is we are going to put it into our base. So just like you want to let your bases set, you want to let your frames kind of set, let it set in stages before you start gluing everything together. Okay. But to put it in the base, you're simply going to take some of your gel super glue. You're going to squirt some down in there. I'm a little more generous with this step just because I want to make sure we get good adhesion into our base. And then you take that little lip there and you sit it down into your base. You can also, if you are worried about good connection, you can put a little bit of glue on these little sides pieces here too that are going to make a connection, just like that. Or you can add your glue to this lip. So, there's different ways of doing it.
I was going to say too, Kristy, so sometimes I love to put little signs down in baskets. That's one way that I use them. And so I had told Kristy, I like for this big one here, this is going to be going down in a basket. So I'm actually not even going to attach the bottom piece for this one because of how it's going to sit in my basket. So if you don't want it to be permanent, I mean, I feel like it's pretty sturdy, even just setting in there without the glue. So
you can.
You could. I mean, the sturdier, more stable way would be obviously to glue it. But if you think that you may ever want to use it without, which would probably be rare, only weird people like me who like to decorate baskets, but that is another option. So for this one, I'm not going to glue it into my base because I want it to be a little more, I want to be able to use it different ways. So just FYI.
No, I love that. I love that. The more versatile you can make your decor, the better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. These are just so stinking cute. Look at this dry brushing.
They're so easy to put. They really, truly are easy to put together.
They really are.
Step in detail for you guys, but they really, truly are easy to put together.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. This is obviously taking longer because we're chatting and we're, whatever. But if you're just home doing this, you could knock them out so quickly for sure. So,
yes.
Okay, cool. Do you want me to start moving on to the printable portion?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I think you guys got the idea of how these all go together. Stacy's going to do the printables, and then maybe at the end we'll throw together a quick bow and show you how to use the bow hooks.
Perfect.
So
hold on. Before you swap it, Tim, let me show them real quick. So what the little surprise that I wanted to show you guys. So if you have not seen, this part isn't the surprise, but these are the 3 printable bundles that were included with the release, or not included, but were available for the Simple Swap release. So we have this, these are not in any particular order, but the cute pumpkin bundle, which is so beautiful for fall. So there's that one. There's the sunflower bundle. All of these are available on my site. The link's in the description. And then this pretty farmhouse bundle. So these are the 3 that you guys have seen and that some of you purchased. I do have this available as a bundle. You get a little deal if you buy all 3. But the surprise is I told you guys we have 2 Simple Swap printables coming next month. I never do this. I rarely do this and show things early, but I'm going to show you guys one of the Simple Swap printables that's coming to Printable Club on Tuesday, September 3rd, and then it'll be available the following week on my website. Are you guys excited? So there's 2, and I'm only showing one, but this is actually the one I'm going to craft with today. So this is our beautiful fall floral bundle. I've been for months now just been obsessed with these pretty florals for all the different seasons. So this one has the sage green, the mustard yellow, the burnt orange for fall. We've got little pumpkins and florals. Look at that one with the pumpkins in the vase, the pumpkins on the table. And then this one is the 8x8, which I love with the wheat and everything. So this is so cute. I thought you guys would think that was fun to be able to see that. So that's a little sneak of what's to come. If you guys do decide to join Printable Club, since we're at the end of August, how this will work, this is like top secret information, but you'll actually get August printables now because it's August. So the covered bridge that I showed earlier, all the other ones that are in there, you'll get now. And then on Tuesday, you'll get this one plus 5 others for September. So it's almost like a 2-for-1. If you get in now, you pay you can get $5 off. So $15 for your first month, you'll get 6 printables. Then Tuesday, you're going to get 6 more. So it is a great value, but this is so cute. I'm very excited about it. And the other one that's coming, y'all are going to love too. So thank you guys.
Those of you that are on my page, I just put the link to the Printable Club in the comments for you guys.
Okay, perfect.
That's a different link.
Sorry, you can use code PC Fun for $5 off. I should have told you that, Kristy. I'm sorry. PC Fun.
We'll add that in there for you guys.
Yeah.
Because that's a different link than it is if you go to the frame page and then scroll down and get these individual printables that are for Simple Swap. So if you want to join the club that Stacy was just talking about, the link I just put in the comments, that's the link for that for my channel.
Yes. Okay. All right. If you want to go to the overhead view, Tim, we're going to be ready for that. So, okay. So I'm using the 6x6, the 5x5, and the 8x8. So we will just start once I find my scissors with the 5x5, and literally you're just simply going to cut these out. I do label all of them so that you guys know what size they are. They should be sized pretty perfectly for these inserts, but in the case that they're a little bit bigger, I'll show you what you can do to kind of sand them down and make it good and even. And the good thing is, if for some reason they print out even just a little bit smaller, because of the edges of the frames, you're not going to see that once you get them, put onto the frame. So you could also use a paper cutter if you're, trying to get a really, straight cut. But for this, I'm just going to do it the old fashioned way and use that. So I've got that one cut out and ready to go. Now we're going to do our 6x6 here. This is probably one of my favorites in this little bundle.
So Stacy, if they're printing these at home or they're taking them to like Staples, is there any like special instructions they need to know for like their printer settings of kind of what like
yes yeah so if you print from home, you just want to be sure your printer is set to 100% scale, which just means normal. All right, so it's going to print it exactly. If this says 6x6 and you print it 100%, it's going to print it at 100%. If you were to change it to 150%, it's going to blow things up, vice versa. So you just want it set at 100%. Some printers have like a print at best quality. If you can change that kind of setting, you could do that. But that's really about it as far as I can think of, as far as just the settings. These are all high quality images, so you don't have to worry about, doing anything to improve the quality or anything like that. All of that will already be, set for you guys. So does that answer that? Let's see.
Yes, it does.
Okay, perfect. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so cute. Okay, so now let's cut out the 8x8. I think I'm just going to use this entire bundle instead of changing it up. So we're just going to print this. And actually, I'm going to add, I have not done this yet, but for you guys, I'm going to add a little border to this before you get it in the printable club. But for now, I'm just going to, this is a good example though. I'm going to always try to put a little cutting border for you guys. If for some reason I, have a little moment and forget, you can just lay your board on there and then just take a pencil and trace where you want to cut it. So that's what I'm going to do here. But before these get released to the club, I will add a border to that one just to make it easier for you guys. So now we've got a nice little border and we're just going to take it and cut. Which printable bundles are you using, Kristy? You're doing the sunflowers, right?
The sunflowers. So the sunflower, it's got this cute little truck. It's got the little field of flowers, says always look on the bright side, and the truck says choose to shine. And then the little extra bonus 4x6 has this cute little bicycle. Super, super cute. I'm using the 3x3, the 4x4, and the 5x5. So it's got this, get under the camera here. It's got the little sunflower, like a little bouquet of sunflowers. It's got the cute little barn. And then it's got the little basket of sunflowers. So those are the three that I am using today.
Yes, Bernada, I have a ton of printables available. This particular one will be released to the Printable Club next week, and then will be on my site the week after that. But yes, the other printables you guys can get now in my shop. So all of those are there. Okay, so we are set up and ready. The most common way to use a printable is to use our friend Mod Podge. Do not be scared of Mod Podge. I know some people get a little bit anxious with decoupaging, but there's so many tips and tricks that you can do to make sure you get a really smooth finish and all of that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take, and I'm just going to dip directly into my Mod Podge container because that's just kind of how I roll sometimes. So I'm just using a little foam brush. We're going to dip into the Mod Podge, and you're just going to put a coat of this over here. And I'm going to show you on these first two, I'm going to show you just kind of, I guess, the regular way. But then on the bigger one, we're going to do a fun little iron technique, which if you've ever had bubbles in your Mod Podge projects, this is what you're going to want to do. I always say on my page, no bubbles, no troubles. We got this. So we can get rid of bubbles anytime. So, but the trick with Mod Podge is just not too much, not too little. You don't want to get so heavy handed with it that it's real gloopy, gloppy, whatever that word is, because then you are going to get bubbles, but clearly you need enough on there to make, to make it stick or whatever. So I've got a good little base layer of my Mod Podge, and now I'm just going to lay the printable down and just position it exactly like I want it onto the piece of wood. And again, if it's a little bit bigger, which I can see this is hanging over just a little bit on a couple of the sides, we'll fix that here in a minute. You can use your hand. You can use a credit card. Mod Podge makes a little, I probably won't be able to find it right now. Here it is. A little roller thing that you can use to kind of, scrape and get bubbles out and make it real smooth. So there's lots of ways to do that. But a lot of times on these smaller projects, you can just use your hand. Okay. So there that is. So now what I'm going to do is I will take my little Gator sander like Kristy was using earlier. And I'm just going to take it and just kind of go over the edges here and just sand off any excess paper, because you do want this to be nice and clean so that it slides down into the frame really well. So I think the bottom looks pretty good. There's not really any excess, but just a little bit of excess on the side. So that should only take you a couple seconds. And now you've got it nice and smooth. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now on our smaller one, we're going to do the same thing. And a lot of people ask about sealing the top. I seal most of my projects, but not all. If you seal the top, and I'll seal one of these to show you guys how I do that as well. I think it does give it a little bit more of just a finished look. It makes it not look as papery and look more like a true sign or whatever. So I do recommend, plus it just protects it from getting, damaged if somebody spills something or whatever. So I do recommend. The biggest tip I have for that, which today I'll be kind of rushing, I guess, doing it because we're not going to sit here and just watch it dry. But the drier the Mod Podge is underneath, the less chance you're going to have of bubbling on the top when you add Mod Podge. So you can take a heat gun to it, a hair dryer, whatever, but just make sure that glue underneath is good and dry before you go adding your top coat. So, all right, so let's get this one laid down. I love this with the little yellow polka dots too. So stinking cute. Okay, so there's that. Just go over it with our little sander. And then there we go. Okay, so that one is done, or not done, but we're done for now. So now what we're going to do on this last one, we are actually going to put our Mod Podge down just like we did before, but then we're going to be doing the iron and parchment paper method. You want to be
That's what I'm going to do today.
Are you doing that too? Yeah.
My favorite technique.
Oh, I mean, it is a true game changer when you're decoupaging for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Somehow I seem to have lost my, if you see me wandering around like I look lost here, wondering what's going on, I seem to have lost my parchment paper. Like the whole
no. I have some you can borrow. I wish I could put it through the screen to you.
I have a whole package of it, of the sheets of it, and I always keep it right there. And see, y'all, I cleaned up my craft room, and when you clean your craft room, you can't find anything.
That was your problem. You shouldn't have cleaned,
But But we'll improvise. We'll make it work. I've done this before because one time before I didn't have any parchment paper, and I'm going to improvise if I have to.
Yes, you can for sure.
I don't know where it went.
Yes, Judy, you can use the removable tape as well. So this right here is AdTech Tape Glue. You can get this Hobby Lobby, Amazon, all the places. You could 100% use that on these as well, and that way your printables could remove. You just wouldn't be able to Mod Podge the top and seal it. So, but if you're okay with not having it sealed, then yes, that would be another option too. Okay, so when you get a good coat of Mod Podge on, for this, we are going to dry the Mod Podge. So I always say that you want it to be dry-ish. It doesn't have to be 100% dry. If it's still a little tacky, that's fine, but you don't want it wet. The nice thing about this too, like for this project, it's not as big of a deal, but sometimes with printable crafting, like if you put something down on Mod Podge, you don't have a lot of time to move it before it sticks. With this, you can make sure you have your placement exactly the way you want it before you iron and really adhere it. So what we're doing now is just drying the glue. And then we're going to get our printable parchment paper. You want to be sure that it's parchment paper and not wax paper. Wax paper will melt. So that's just a little side note, but get it dry.
And if you're in a super, super pinch like me and you're like, where did my parchment paper go? There's not a single piece of parchment paper around here. You can use like a piece of printer paper. It doesn't work as well. Parchment paper, your iron glides nicely. With your printer paper, it just kind of sticks a little bit. And if you have any Mod Podge coming through, it might stick to that a little bit. So parchment paper is what you should be using. Don't watch me at the moment. Watch Stacy.
Yeah. Oh, hey, but you know what? Sometimes we have to improvise. So I have just little parchment paper sheets. Of course, you can use the roll of parchment paper as well and just cut off what you need. But grab your parchment paper. I use a little iron from Amazon. It's just a little travel iron. So any travel iron will work. A regular iron will work as well on like probably low to medium heat. You just do not want to use steam. You don't want to add any water to this at all. Okay. So next, after the Mod Podge is dry, you're going to get your printable. You're going to get it positioned exactly where you want it. And this is what I was saying about if you get it on there and it's crooked, you've got time to reposition it because that Mod Podge is not, dry yet. Okay. So once you get it good and positioned, you're just going to take your parchment paper and lay it on top of your printable. Then you're going to take your iron and you're just going to go back and forth, back and forth. So what this is doing is reactivating that glue. It's remelting the glue and it's adhering the printable to the piece of wood. It really only takes, I probably have overdone it. It doesn't even take that long. And you can lift it up and you'll be able to kind of tell if one of your corners doesn't feel like it's down good, then just kind of, put it back on there and go over it. But within seconds, it's going to be adhered to the wood. And it truly, truly, truly gives you just the smoothest surface possible. It really does. So it's super, super easy. And then now we'll just continue like we did with sanding, getting the excess off. And then I'll do the top of one. I won't do are you going to seal the top of yours today, Kristy?
I don't really ever usually seal. I rarely seal the top, and I've had success. So I wasn't planning to.
Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. I'll just do like the smaller one just to kind of show them.
Again, it's a personal preference thing too,
100%. Yeah, and honestly, I probably don't seal more than 4 too. I mean, I don't know. It really just depends for me, I think. But yeah.
When I do seal, I make sure I use the matte because I don't like the gloss finish. So I use the matte.
Same here. Yes, I always use the matte one. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right. So got it nice and smooth. Super. Look how cute these all are together. This is going to be so fun. Excited. Okay, so real quick on the top, we want to make sure that this is good and dry underneath. But also, if you get to this point and you add your Mod Podge and you have bubbles, what you can do is dry it. Make sure you have to be sure it's 100% dry. And once it's 100% dry, you can then take your parchment paper and iron and lay it over it, and it'll get the bubbles out. So that's why I always say, no troubles, no bubbles. You got this. There are ways to get your bubbles out for sure. So hopefully we don't have any bubbles, but if we do, then we know what to do.
The iron is such a game changer when it comes to Mod Podging, especially when you get to like the thinner, like the tissue paper or the napkin Mod Podging.
Yes.
Such a game changer.
Yes, absolutely. All right. I'm just going to dry this. You can obviously let it just air dry, but I'm just speeding up the process. Ooh, that gets so hot. All right, there we go. Now it is all sealed, and I mean it looks awesome. It looks so good. Yay. Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
So should we do a bow real quick and
yes, yeah, go ahead. I made a couple. Listen, I'm not as good of a bow maker as Kristy. I tell everybody bows make me sweat. And so why don't you put it on her for the overhead, Tim, and let her show them the bow? Okay. I pre-made a couple little bows. I got to decide which one I'm going to use, but yes, go Kristy.
All right. So I pre-cut some strips. We're just going to do like a little refabbed bow today. Super, super simple, super easy. You can do any kind of bow you want to, but I just picked some fabrics that I liked that kind of went with the frame and the principles that I'm going to be using. And I just tore strips of fabric. You could use pink and shears. You could use ribbon, however you want to make your bow, you can make your bow. But this one, I just got some strips. I'm just going to crisscross some here. Don't be too neat and tidy. When you try to be like perfect and you lay everything perfectly on top of each other, that's when your bow is not going to turn out very well, okay? You kind of need to not overthink it and just throw your pieces on there. I tend to coordinate the colors a little bit. Like I'll do 2 polka dots, 2 checks, and then I'm going to throw 2 buffalo checks in here. I'm going to throw another, it depends how full you want it, but I'm going to throw another checked one in there. I'll throw another polka dot, and then let's throw one more buffalo check. And I think that's going to be plenty full enough. The strips are a little bit longer than what I want my actual bow to be, but we're going to leave room to trim it up, okay? So I just crisscrossed them all, and I'm going to take another one of the pieces of fabric. I'm going to lay it across the top. I'm going to grab it all, flip it over, and just tie a little knot here, and just tie it all together. Just squish it together in the center, tie your little knots. So these bow hooks that we're going to attach this to, every frame comes with a bow hook. Do I think you should put a bow on every single frame if you're going to put 3 or 4 of these together? Probably not. If you have a cluster of 3, I'd probably just put a bow on 1 frame. If you have a cluster of 5, I might put a bow on 2 frames, okay? Yep. But you do get a bow or a hook with every single frame. So you are going to end up with some extras of these probably. So you can make different colored bows to go with your different colored printables. Okay. If you are just a bow fanatic and you want all the bows, we do sell these in little 4-packs in the shop as well as extras if you want more of them, or if you lose them, or you know, you need more in the future, they'll be there. Okay. All right. So tied my knots, I'm going to flip it over. We're going to look, my bow is not that's not too cute just yet. We need to fluff it up. We need to trim it up. So I'm just going to trim some of these pieces with this terrible pair of scissors. I need to get my other scissors. I've kind of abused this pair of scissors.
Kind of.
We all know what happens when we abuse our scissors and then try to cut fabric with them, right?
Exactly. Story of my life. Yeah.
I know. You hide a pair for a while and they stay safe for a while, and then you use it time and there they go.
You can't find your other scissors, so you pick up your fabric scissors and use those, and then you've ruined your fabric scissors.
Or your family grabs them and uses them for cutting cardboard or something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We've all been there, right? How many of you show us hit that heart button if you have a pair of scissors hidden, or you've ever had a pair of scissors hidden from your family. I think it's going to be a lot of you.
Yes.
And I never understood it when I was a
And
kid.
tape measures always go missing around here. I'm like, I can never find a tape measure when I'm looking for a tape measure.
Yeah.
You know? And then suddenly 3 show up in a drawer. And I'm like, where were you when I was looking for you last week? You know?
Right? Yeah.
A boatload of hearts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lots
yeah.
of hearts.
Everybody.
Now, say I used to build houses, long in another life, and I always had a tape measure.
Always. Multiple.
Multiple.
yeah.
And right now, I think I have probably, honestly, without exaggerating, 10 tape measures all over the place. But do you think I can find any of them?
No.
I'm going to glue a little black button to the center of my bow. I just like a little something in the middle of my bow. It just adds a little bit to it.
Cute, cute.
So I'm just going to glue this on here in the center like that. So now we have our bow. So now we have to attach our bow to our bow hook. That little string there.
Are you just gluing yours onto the bow hook? Is that what you're doing, Kristy?
What's that?
Are you just gluing the bow onto the bow hook?
Yep. So here is the bow hook. This is the front of the bow hook. This is the back of the bow hook. So the little short side, that little short spot is where you're going to glue your bow. Okay. This long side is the side that's going to hang down on the back of your frame. So we're just going to put a little glue just on that little short edge on the black part there. Just a little dot of glue there.
Cute.
And then we're just going to glue our bow right to the front of that. Okay. So I'll show it to you from the side so you can see. Let me get up where y'all can see.
Cute, cute.
There's our little hook. So we actually spent a lot of time designing this bow hook to fit perfectly on these frames. And I'm going to show you. Let me slide one of these in here so you can see. So this is what it looks like. Let me kind of show you from the side. So you see how you've got your insert in there and then you've got the top of your frame there. So it fits perfectly. So that bow just slides on there right into the notches. So it fits perfectly on there. And that kind of helps hold your insert to the front of your frame too, if you have a little bit of extra space.
Yes. So
but
cute.
You just have a cute little bow for your frame now.
Yay, that's precious. And I'm just going to use the most simple little bow, just a little velvet orange fabric, and just tie that or attach that to mine, to one of them.
Cute. So let's, you want to switch it to both of us so that we can show our finished frames. This is adding her bow, and then we will reveal them together.
Big reveal.
Do the big reveal. So I'm going to slide. So all you do is you just slide your little insert in there. I'm showing you from the back right now, but it just slides in. You have a different printable on the back. You can just flip it and then you'll be able to see the other printables. So you can get multiple uses out of these. You can get the extra inserts if you want even more inserts. You want to change it out more throughout the year. But you guys, for a moment, I wasn't sure about the black. I am loving the black with these sunflowers. Cool. Oh my goodness.
I can't wait to see. I know we were talking about it. I was like, no, do it. I think it's going to look really cute and really make that printable pop. So
oh my goodness.
I'm excited to see it.
All right, so you can show yours and then I'll show mine.
Okay. I don't know. We'll start with the drum roll, please. Okay, here's the smallest little one. This is the 5x5.
Oh, pretty.
So stinking cute with the dry brushing. I love the way it makes those flowers pop. Love it, love it. This is the 6x6, and this is the one I added. Oops, which way am I going? The little bow to. So adorable. I plan to use these two in a tiered tray. So I'm going to show you guys that when I get it all styled. And then this is the one I think I'm going to put down in my basket in the 8x8, which is just so beautiful. So beautiful. I love it. Look how that pops with the brown on the
it's perfect.
It looks amazing. I love them. All right, Kristy.
All right, so
drum roll.
Here is my 5-inch with the little basket of sunflowers in there.
Cute.
So pretty. Look how good that looks. Like I wouldn't have, I shocked myself with the black frame.
That looks amazing.
This is the 4-inch or the 5-inch. Sorry. I did the 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, this is the 4-inch. And the 4-inch just so you guys know, the measurement is the size of the insert. So
Yeah.
the frame will be a little bit bigger. So while this is the 4-inch, the frame itself is a little bit bigger than 4 inches. It's the insert size that we go by. So there is our little barn with the little sunflowers and the little bow with the little bow hook attached on there.
So cute.
And then we've got the little 3-inch, which I'm just obsessed with the little 3-inch frames. I just think
they're so cute. They're so tiny and cute.
So stinking cute. So I'll try to hold these up so you can kind of see. Stacy and I will get photos of ours finished too, and we'll be posting them for you guys, but we'll kind of try to hold them up if we can.
Can I hold all of these? Am I that talented? There.
No, can I do it?
Yes. I feel like somebody needs to screenshot our picture of us holding these up.
Yes.
Okay, ready, Kristy? Look at the camera and smile. Okay, send us your pictures. I always do that on my lives. I'm like, it's so awkward, but then I love having the pictures.
I know, right? So cute. All clustered together. Super, super fun.
Yes. Trish says the hardest part is deciding what color to paint them, right, Trish? You know, and that's the thing. We talked about this before. The safest bet is to do something neutral so that you can use them over and over. So a black, a white, a stain. But obviously, I'll show these one more time. You're going to want more of these because when Christmas rolls around, you better believe I'm going to be doing one in red. You know, 100%. But they also look gorgeous painted in colors. But if you're really wanting to get them and make them last and work with everything, then obviously sticking with, you know, more neutral is good. But that looks so stinking cute. So
Brenda,
in the description, Brenda. So if you're watching on my page or you're watching on Kristy's page, we both have the links in the descriptions of our videos. So as soon as this is done, you can go click on that. You can buy the frames, you can buy the printables, you can join the printable club, you can do all the things and get all the things. So
and we'll be posting finished photos. We'll have the links in there with those too for you guys if you're having a hard time finding it in the live. I know sometimes it's a little wonky when you're watching live to see where the links and stuff are. So they're definitely on my page, on Stacy's page. So it depends on where you're watching. If you just scroll back, you'll see a post where you can grab that link and get all the things.
All the things. Yep. And somebody's asking, so yes, if you're on Kristy's page, it will have the frames and they will take you to the printables and vice versa. If you start on my page, it'll have the printables and it'll link you over to her frames. So you will have to check out separate. Kristy does the frames, I do the printables, but both pages are linked all the places. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys. Thank y'all so much. You guys are so sweet.
Yes. This has been so fun.
So fun. They said, wonderful job, ladies, on your collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you. We are so proud of this. Like, this has just been like a labor of love and just like our baby. Like, we get to see it just coming to fruition here. And it's like, I don't know. It's just been super amazing working with Stacy on this. It's been super easy working with Stacy on this because, like, you know, we had a connection and a friendship before we even did this. So I think it all just, that helped it just flow together.
What it did. And same with you. It's been, our vision was the same for this. So it was not like, I was like, well, no, I want to do this. And she's like, I want to do this. Like, we were both like, yes, great idea. Yes. Should we do this? Like, we've just had so much fun putting our little brains together and seeing this come to life. And like Kristy said, it's been going on behind the scenes for so much longer than what you guys have known about. So to be able to just put it out there and, you know, show you guys these, and now to be able to see you guys do them and put them in your homes, it's just really cool. So
Marla, yes, when you order the frames, when you put the frames in your cart, if you just hit the back button and go back, you can scroll down on that page just a little bit and you can click on the inserts and you can order the inserts in the same order as the frames. Yes, so any of the wood frame pieces, you can order all in one order. You don't have to check out separately with those. The only thing you have to check out separately is the frames. You order those from my website, and the printables you order from Stacy's website.
Yes. Yep. You got it. And obviously, if you guys end up watching on replay and you have any questions, keep dropping your questions. We still want you to talk and interact and do all of that. We'll come back and, you know, check replay comments. But if you guys have any questions, just let us know. Thank you, Kristy and Tim. This was so fun.
It was. It's been a ton of fun, and it's almost sad it's like it's coming to an end. It's not coming to an end because they're not going anywhere, but this particular live is coming to an end, and we've been looking forward to this for so
I was
long.
gonna say we have, but not to put you on the spot, but we should do this again sometime. Like just because we did it now, like we can.
Wait, what?
Tim's like, no. He's like, I'm tired. I'm not saying new whatever. When Christmas rolls around, there's going to be Christmas printables, and we can craft together. There's no reason we can't, you know?
Absolutely. I would love that.
And now that I got this thing figured out.
I mean, listen, you're hired because you knew exactly how to work those cameras. So you did good.
You did great.
Hey, I've screwed up enough.
You did great. So, all right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. If you're just coming on and you don't know what's happening, make sure you watch the replay and you can get all the details. And you guys can come back and rewatch this over and over as many times as you need to. If you need the instructions, when you're you can pause it, fast forward it. That's the best part of a replay. You can go right to the part that you want to see the instructions that you need. So they'll be right here on our pages for all of you guys.
Perfect. Yay. Thank you guys. All right. Bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.